Welcome to another travel talk with Selling Travel. I'm joined today by Vishal Patel, who is Director of tailor-made holiday specialist Travelpack. So hi Vishal, how have you been holding up there?
Yeah, I've been surviving, Jessica. And thank you for having me. It's been a difficult 9 months, I'll say. It's been very challenging for everyone. We're trying to be positive as possible and just trying to, model our way through. The uncertainty has been really, really tricky and hard to plan for, but we're doing our level best.
It looks like you're somewhere very tropical, not like outside my window where it's raining cats and dogs.
I'm in the Caribbean today. Yeah, makes me smile.
So tell us a little bit about how Travelpack has fared over the last several months. Have you seen a real kind of downturn in bookings, I imagine?
Initially, I think when everything hit, it was panic stations. Don't get me wrong; it was very difficult when you have so many people contact the call center all in one go. It was very, very difficult.
Mm.
Partly because we went into lockdown. Our office out in India went into lockdown as well, and they were very strict out in India. You couldn't go into the offices at all. You couldn't leave your premises. So the team, and they were brilliant. I mean, I've got hats off to my team. They got out their own personal laptops, downloaded apps that they can use the office phone, and everyone got set up working from home very quickly. Everyone's very, very proactive. So really proud of my team for doing that early days. We were burning midnight oil on the phones till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night, just trying to get through, help people, as many people as we could. It was difficult in early days, but as time went on, we introduced a refund policy, quite a clear one, that we'd look at it and we'd refund people, and we started working our way through. So that was the initial hurdle, and goalposts are moving all the time. Destinations, I think from sort of March onwards, there were just one destination after the other. So we're running report after report for destinations. And because we sell worldwide, it was really difficult. And I think when the announcement was made on the 17th or 18th of March that, it was global, and the FCO advisory changed everywhere, that sort of made our lives a lot easier, really, because we knew exactly what we had. And strangely, we ran a report for all bookings to the end of the year, and just started working our way through them. It was as simple as that. I mean, we had no other choice. We realised how important it is.
I don't think anyone could have prepared for this kind of scenario, and I imagine for everyone it was panic stations at first. But now, are you seeing a bit of a comeback in terms of bookings? Of people, I guess people are just desperate to get away, but are you seeing a build up of confidence with agents booking kind of worldwide again?
Yeah, I mean, all of our travel partners and travel agents have been really, really supportive, really proactive. Been asking for offers, have been asking, can we push this date back? Can we have family offers? Can we have something all inclusive? So they've been really proactive. And a lot of it's aligned up with the corridors. So when certain destinations become available to sell or opened up, we've been as quick as we can and tried to jump on as quickly as we can and get some offers out for travel agents to promote. We are looking, sort of deep into 2021 and 2022 for sales. So that is quite important, because I think we don't know what's going to happen in next year. We just have no idea. We don't know how quickly things will open up, if they will open up. We're trying to be as proactive as possible and get some sales on the board for everyone as quickly as possible.
I've been noticing a new trend in people are booking as late as possible. Is that something that you've experienced?
Yeah, we've got a mixed bag. I'll be honest. It depends. I think last week, when the Canaries and the Maldives were added to the travel corridors, yes, we saw an immediate sort of spike in inquiries. But before then, we were seeing, again, it was advanced bookings mainly that were coming through. It was very difficult because there were so many. Initially, the list was quite big, and it started dwindling very, very quickly. And I think that is one of the challenges we've all had, just with the ever-changing, announcements from the government, not knowing what's going to happen. So, yeah, we see an increase, and we see it drop down if anything changes. Things like Santorini went off, and came back on again. So it's been a challenge. But I think everyone's been quite proactive and very, just trying to get there quickly when they can, get the messages out. And, the Canaries has been a big one. It's a big volume market for everyone in the UK. So we have seen some really positive signs there.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of other trends, I know that villa bookings, there's been a big spike in that sector. Where are you seeing trends forming on the back of this pandemic?
Yeah, other than where the corridors, when things are announced, the corridors are announced, we have been seeing mainly point to point. Less touring, which is unusual for us. We are specialists in tailor-made, and we do, quite a few complex itineraries. So we're seeing less of that and a lot more point to point, which is fine. We don't, it's positive. So there are no complaints there. So Maldives is selling very, very well. Caribbean is selling very well. The Canaries have just picked up again. So anything point to point, places like Dubai, which is not on the corridors, are also selling quite well. People are happy to take the PCR tests. As long as you've got 96 hours or 76 hours in some cases to go and take the test. So people are willing to do that, and they're happy to go and take the risk. So, we are seeing quite a lot of point-to-point bookings. Again, lots of advanced bookings. People are sort of comfortably booking for 2021 and beyond as well. So some of the touring stuff is now starting to come in a bit more now. So that is positive as well.
I think this new testing before travel will become the norm. So I think it's something that we'll just have to get on board with.
No, I was just saying, it makes sense. I think in terms of what, I think a lot of people have expressed their disappointment with the lack of our government actually putting testing in place quicker. They could help our industry to no end. If the testing was on, not on departure, on arrival back home, you can avoid that full 14-day quarantine if you just said, right, as soon as you get back home, you test. If you test negative, no quarantine, no isolation, nothing. Just carry on with your lives. So they could do a lot more to support our industry. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. We can say, right, introduce some kind of airport tax to subsidize the testing, and maybe, and that could help us. So there are things the government can do, and, it will be normal. Other countries will do the same thing. They're not going to want COVID spreading. There are countries like Mauritius which have had no deaths for 7 months, and yet, and same in New Zealand, Australia, the border's going to be closed. They're not allowing anyone in. So we do really need to expect that testing is going to be the norm, and it will happen on arrival and departure. I think also things like social distancing in various countries, as well as wearing masks in certain areas and when you're moving around. So there's going to be a lot of changes in going forward, and I think we need to sort of expect that, really.
Yeah, I think so too. And how has Travelpack adapted for travel during the pandemic? For example, are you offering more flexibility? Have you got safety assurances on your trips? How have you guys adapted to it?
It's difficult. There are so many different rate types because we have such a wide product range. Every one of our suppliers has various different types of rates. So yes, we have got flexible rates. They're more expensive, and that's part of the problem. We are trying to. The policy is only to sell where we have either a COVID refund policy in place, or a book with confidence which allows a refund for any particular reason, or the rate is fully refundable. So we're trying that, but in most cases, in many cases, clients will go and see something somewhere else. It'll be cheaper, it'll be a dynamic, instant purchase, non-flexible rate. So we're offering both types, and as long as clients accept that, look, if you want something really cheap, you're not going to get the protection and the assurances that comes with paying a slightly more higher rate and having that sort of refundable rate effectively. So we have got that in place, and our team will be, should be notifying all of our travel partners if the rate is not refundable, or if there's an element which is not refundable within that holiday. So trying to be as transparent as possible. In these times, it's not easy. You've got to balance up closing the sale with offering that, that protection that clients want. And really, and that's one of the other big demands. We're getting a lot now. They say, "Oh, I want to book something whereby it's fully refundable if COVID is still around in 2, 3, 4 months' time."
How have you been communicating with agents and helping them to secure bookings or get refunds, and just kind of help them to reassure their clients that it is worth keeping the travel conversation going for, future bookings.
Yeah, I think from early days, our policy was quite straightforward. I think if we knew, we've been adhering to PTRs. Unfortunately, only one part of that we're not super strict on is the 14 days. So, I think it was too difficult, too many refunds to process in such a short amount of time, and it's just been piling up. So, it was, and now we're sort of working our way through them. I'd say we're up to date now. So our general policy is 6 to 8 weeks. We've been very clear on that from the day we start the process. Some you can start earlier than others. Sometimes you have to wait near the time of departure. So, the team, all the reservations team have sort of have their own reports, booking reports, and they're going back to our travel partners to say, right, okay, this is now, we need to make a decision on this, what's going to happen. We've got to the stage now where actually those ones that were booked and fully paid, we're through those bookings now, and it's now coming to balances. So it's really important to explain to clients that, look, actually, if you don't pay your balance, then the PTRs don't actually kick in. If you do pay your balance, then yes, the booking is subject to travel package regulations, and yes, you qualify for a refund if the FCA advisory remains as it is, where it says don't travel. Whereas if you don't, then booking conditions apply, and the booking is non-refundable. Well, what we're trying to do, we're not throwing terms and conditions back into clients' faces. We're trying to use that to say, right, okay, why don't you book again, or you can have a credit for the deposit amount where possible. So it's a lot of hard work. We've had to go back to many of our suppliers and say, look, can we have this back? We paid for that. Can we move the booking? And in most cases, our suppliers have been fantastic. I haven't really got too many complaints. I understand the position they're in as well. They've got expenses and bills to pay just like we have. And they understand that ultimately we need to keep our clients happy, and we have to adhere to the law as well. So,
do you think this whole situation has highlighted how important it is to book a holiday that is ATOL protected, and to kind of book through an agent, or just have that reassurance in place rather than doing it independently?
I think so. I mean, it's a difficult one because I've spoken to a lot of travel agents who have said that they haven't had refunds from certain operators and stuff like that. So it is disappointing because I think it affects the whole industry. But yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, it is important, and I have seen that trend of more and more people saying, "I want an ATOL protected." A lot less dynamically packaged products are being purchased through us, so we're not selling as much accommodation only, flight only. It's been a lot more packages and people saying, look, I used to dynamically package. So we are seeing an increase in people booking the whole package to us now.
And how do you see the travel landscape shaping for 2021 then?
I think things will, as and when destinations open up, I think people will start to travel. I think we all miss travel. We all miss that normal life. Travel is not just about just going on holiday or just for work. It has a lot more associated with it. And I was kind of expecting a peaks too when this was all over, but it hasn't. And I was sort of expecting back end of August for this to sort of subside and things to start returning back to normal. That hasn't happened. We're in sort of wave 2 now, and it looks like things will open up gradually. It doesn't look like our government will say, right, okay, back to normal. It looks like it'll be phased in when they see fit. When countries don't have high R numbers and the death rate has dropped. So it looks like in 2021 it will be a gradual opening. So as and when countries start opening up, I think that's when we'll start seeing the demand sort of increase. I think there'll be more measures put into place in terms of testing, tracking, and there'll be a lot more clients will have to adhere to in terms of testing before they go, and make sure they read a lot more about what the local law is and what they have to adhere to.
What are you missing most about travelling, and where will you be off to once you're allowed?
I miss everything. I've had to, in all honesty, there's for me, it's not just work. I enjoy it. When I go with my family, it's memories, isn't it? You create these memories that last a lifetime, and you look back at your Facebook photos and your Google come up and say this is what you did a year ago, and
it's painful, isn't it, seeing all of that?
Yeah, it is. But for me, it's just like in the last few years with the kids, it's been really, really precious time for me. I get to unwind not switch off completely, but it's been one of those things where it has been my sort of escape, and really value time where I don't get too many distractions. I can have, my kids have my undivided attention the whole day. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I will miss. And when I'm flying out for work, there are people I travel with, and I miss meeting people, and the whole learning experience of traveling. It's a big thing for me, and being able to offer that personal recommendation, and what I think is good, and where you should go, and why you should go here and not do this. So it always adds, every time you travel, every trip I've been on, I've always learned something. So it's a lot more than just going away on holiday and just sort of a 2 weeks or a week off. It's a massive learning experience for me, and it's creating lifelong memories, really. Yeah.
And how can agents, if they want any support from Travelpack, or if they want to find out more about what you guys offer, where can they go to?
Well, they can always contact me. I'm always reachable via social media. I'm not a difficult person to get hold of. We have got a Travelpack Travel Agents Facebook page where travel agents can ask any questions they want. We post up offers there, as we do in other travel sort of forums, and we're always open to any suggestions. If anyone needs any help, the team are always on hand to answer any questions. We always try our best to help. We can't always help, but we always try our best.
Great stuff. Well, thanks for talking to me, Vishal. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
And go and enjoy Caribbean cocktail there.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Thanks so much.